Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another Marvel Legendary playthrough. Today we're going to be doing our playthrough of Captain America Brave New World. Latest MCU film, or latest MCU project really. We will go over like my thoughts of the film and stuff after the playthrough, but we'll just hop into the playthrough. To start with, of course, there are going to be spoilers, so if you haven't seen the film yet and you don't want to be spoiled, come back to this after you've watched the movie. Okay, so we've got Thunderbolt Ross as our mastermind. We're using him because we don't have the leader as a mastermind. We have Intelligencia as our villain group to do that for the leader. Start of the game, stack 8 helicopters next to General Ross's, or 8 bystanders next to General Ross's helicopter villains with 2 attack. So I've done that here. Here's the thing, and that's just to remind us that they're 2. You can't fight them. You can't fight General Ross while he has any helicopters, but you can fight the helicopters, rescue them as bystanders. And then his Master Strike is going to be General Ross transforms and then cross-dimensional Hulk rampage. So if we don't have a Hulk card in our discard pile, in our hand, like one of our Hulk cards or in our victory pile, then we take a wound. We've got Red Hulk here. He's got Wounded Fury, so he gets plus attack equal for every wound in our discard pile. You can't fight helicopters, and they don't stop you from fighting Red Hulk. He's 9 attack. His Master Strike is he transforms, then stack a random bystander from each player's victory pile. Next to this is a helicopter. Each player who didn't have a bystander gains a wound instead. We have, because Stearns was like basically mind controlling people, we have Hypnotize every human. 8 twists, add another Henchman group, and then no bystanders in the victory pile. Twist 1 through 6 is put a bystander from the bystander stack next to the each city space as a face down 2 attack Hypnothrall villain. They don't move. When you fight one rescue as a bystander, you can't fight any villains in the city space that have a Hypnothrall. Above it, twist 7 and 8. Each player puts a villain from their victory pile to the escape pile. Evil wins when 8 villains are in the escape pile. We have the Cape Killers to be some of like the military people that were hypnotized by the leader as our henchman group, and then our extra henchman group are Maggia Goons to basically be the Serpent Society. Like I said, Intelligencia is our villain group for the leader, and then we've got our heroes are Sam Wilson, Captain America, Falcon for Joaquin Torres, Falcon, and then we have Apocalyptic, Black Widow to be our Sabra / Ruth character. So let's just hop into it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right, let's get into it here. So we got Battle of Wits. By the end of the turn, outwit this trap or suffer each. Yeah, we're not going to be able to outwit that, unfortunately. Okay, we've got 2 and 4. Let's get Winged Salvation, 2 attack. We're Savior, we're +2. So for us to be Savior, we have to have at least 2 bystanders in our victory pile. We're not going to be able to do that, so this trap happens after you draw in your hand. Each player discards down to 4 cards. So we're going to draw in your hand, and we're going to discard down to 4, and I'm going to just get rid of those 2. Okay. Oh, I'm going to rescue one. Let me fight one of these things with my 2 attack. Detective Wolverine. When you rescue this bystander, investigate the villain deck for a villain worth 1 victory point or more. Or 1 victory point put into your victory pile. Oh, we're going to do that. And then I'm going to put this on the bottom. Okay, completely forgot about the stuff on that. Let's do this so I don't forget. Okay, there we go. Another Cape Killer. All right, so we have 4 recruit. We use it to get Talk with Birds and Squawk Back. So Talk with Birds, Falcon. 2 attack. If you play a blue hero, gain a sidekick, and then Squawk Back. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Draw 1. Put the rest back in any order. That should help us with the Apocalyptic Black Widow's What If ability. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maggia Goon. Okay, can we clear some of these guys? We're going to probably have to with our recruit here. So let's use 2 to get one of these. It's a regular bystander. We use the 4 to bribe. Take out the Maggia Goon and let us KO one of our cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Scheme Twist. So put a bystander face down above each city space and they don't move. Right? Is that right? Put a bystander from the bystander stack above each city space as a face down Hypnothrall. They don't move. When you fight them, rescue them. You can't fight villains already. Okay. So let's put something on the bottom. I'm going to put something on the bottom that's a little more expensive. Okay. So, let's see. We do have Savior because we have 2 bystanders. So that's a nice extra attack there. We've got 2 attack there, so that's 6 attack. we can go for 8 attack. We can get ourselves a sidekick. And we've got 2 recruit. Let's clear these 4. So we'll clear this one for 2, this one for 4. When you rescue a bystander, you may KO one of your heroes or a hero from your discard pile. Let's get rid of that. We'll get this one, which is going to be an Amy. We'll get that one. With the 2 recruit, we'll get another sidekick. We're going to end the go. Okay. I need to get rid of these cape killers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Master Strike. So he will transform, and then we Hulk Dimensional Rampage, which will give us a wound because we don't have anything there, and then he bumps up to 10 attack. All right. So Savior, it's the 2 attack there. Let's try to clear some of this stuff. So I don't have enough to clear 2 villains. So we're probably going to discard this to attack this for 3. It lets us KO a card from our discard pile. We're going to KO the wound. He goes back to 9. We're going to use the other to get this bystander there. We've got 3 recruit. We'll use that 3 recruit to grab rapid reinforcements. It's 2 recruit. Put a hero on the HQ at the bottom of the hero deck. If you played a black hero, if that hero had a recruit icon, you get +1 recruit. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another Master Strike. He's going to take a random deal from here. We'll take that one. Oh, that's not that. That one. Okay. It's a helicopter. Transforms back. I guess I don't really need this die. We know that they're 2. All right. Okay, let's draw 2 with Pot of Greed. All right, 1, 2. Boom Boom will give us 3 attack. And then we're going to put her back on the bottom of the sidekick stack. So we have 1, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. And then 7, 8, and 2 recruits. So with 8, we can clear out a bunch of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 1, 2. You get 2 usable to recruit, a 2 cost card or a card with size changing when we don't have any of those. When you rescue this, put any number of bystanders on the, or any number of heroes on the bottom of the hero deck. Let's put these on the bottom. Okay. And then finally, Triage Nurse. When you rescue Spice, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. KO 1, discard 1, and put 1 back. So now we're going to shuffle. Top 3 cards. KO 1, discard 1, put 1 back. With the 2 recruit, we'll get another sidekick. We'll end the go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we need to get some stuff recruited. I just feel like I'm managing all the helicopters. We have a Maggia Goon here. Okay. So we have Savior. This is going to give us 5 attack total. I think we use 4 of our recruit. We can put a hero on the bottom. We'll put this on the bottom. No, we'll play. Well, let me think about this. We only need 3 recruit, really, because I want to get the rapid reinforcement. So we've got that. So with the other 2, we've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could clear out these 2. I think that's probably the play. So we're going to clear out both of these. The Maggia Goon with the bribe with 4 of the attack and then 3 attack for the shapeshifter. And we'll KO 2 of our cards. So we'll KO this and this. Those are gone. End our go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Scheme Twist, so a bunch more Hypno Thralls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put that on the bottom. Okay. So we can shatter a villain. That makes him 2. I mean, I guess. It's not really like something I super duper need. But there's this. We'll discard this to fight. Oh, I can't fight them. Never mind. So we're not going to use that. Oops. I took too many cards. We'll wait. We'll hold on to this guy. We use 2 of our attack to get rid of this. We shatter him, he's still 2, so it's not enough to do anything. I guess we'll get a sidekick. I'm not going to play Rock Slide, so he's going to go to my discard pile. I kept him in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The leader, Ambush. If you can't outwit the leader, play a card from the villain deck. We can have Outwit because 0, 2, and 4. So we've outwitted the leader, Gamma Fiend. We can play that to have his attack to 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I can't fight him yet, though. We're going to play this to give us 2 attack to clear this. Then we're going to use the 3 to fight the leader. And then his fight effect's the same, but we do have Outwit. And then Prodigy, play this as a copy of another hero you played this turn. We're going to play him as a copy of this because we played another blue hero. We get to get a sidekick. And then because we've got 2 attack, let's clear out this Hypnothrall. End our go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maggia Goon. Okay. Our Savior gives us +2. There's 5. We've got 4 recruit there. We're going to put a hero on the bottom. I think I'm going to put that on the bottom. We have 4 to get another one of these Winged Salvations. Then, with our attack, we're going to fight this Cape Killer by discarding this. It lets us KO a card from our discard pile. We're going to get rid of that. And then we'll use the remaining 2 to clear this, which is Mirage. It's a hero, 1 recruit, draw a card. Okay, we've almost got all the helicopters gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another Cape Killer. I think that's the last one. Okay, we're going to draw a card. We're going to put this on the bottom. Wait a minute. What do I have? We're going to play this to put this on the bottom. It's going to give us a recruit because we played a black hero. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 recruit. 4 attack. 5 attack. So we've got 7 recruit. Let's get Fly and a friend. Falcon, 4 attack. If you play an Avengers hero, you get to get attack equal to the printed attack of a hero in the HQ. And then we have the 5 attack here. Let's use 2 of it to get rid of this, which is Lawyer. When you rescue Spy Stand or reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, draw each one that has at least 10 words of rules text, put the rest back in any order. So none of them do. That's okay. And then let's fight this Cape Killer by discarding this, and then we'll KO this with the remaining 3 attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Master Strike. He's going to Hulk Rampage. It's going to give us a wound because we don't have a Hulk. Oh, wrong thing. It's going to give us a Hulk. Boom. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So we have Savior for 2. This might be a good opportunity to clear some of the let's clear some of the things. We'll draw a card. Give ourselves the attack. This will go to the bottom of the deck. He no longer has Wounded Fury. That gives us 2 more. Boom, 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 boom. Gives us a sidekick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14 attack. We clear these 2 for 4. So boom, boom. When you return a card that costs 2 or less from your discard to your hand. Okay, this goes to my hand. I get to play it. We have 11 attack. Wait, how much do we have? We had 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14. We have 10, 11, 12, 13. When you play 2 cards of the same hero class to certain KO this wound. I don't know if it works retroactively. I can't remember if healing it works retroactively. So since I did it, do I get to KO it? Enraging wounds, shuffle them into the deck. Each wound has a healing ability. When you do, unlike the healing ability, the KO doesn't prevent you from recruiting and fighting. Enraging wounds still count as wounds. Some wounds, okay. Healing. It says you can use this healing during your turn, either after you've played the enraging wound or while it's still in your hand. So I have to do it. So because I have to play it first. Okay. All right. So we went from 10 to 13. I can't clear, so we're gonna. Oh, he's 9, so we have 4 left. So we're gonna fight Red Hulk. Each other player puts a non-gray hero from their hand on the bottom of the hero deck and puts a 0-cost hero from the KO pile into their hand. He transforms. We do as much as we possibly can. Since I don't have a hand, I won't do that, but I will put a card from here into my hand. He transforms back. He has a helicopter. And since we have one of these back, we can discard it to fight this with the rest of our attack and KO it back. Then we're going to end our go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll shuffle up. Oops. 6. Another Maggia goon. And right now we've gotten rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of our gray cards. Starter cards. Okay. So we're going to get our savior here. That's going to be 2 extra attack. We'll play that to draw. Another savior. We'll play that to put something on the bottom. I'm going to like get attack cards. Yep, we'll play that to put this on the bottom. It's going to give us another recruit. We'll play this, which will give us 4 attack. Plus, since we play an Avenger, we'll get an additional 4 attack because we're going to choose that card. Then we'll play this. So our recruit is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 recruit. And then we have 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16 attack. So 2 is going to be for this. Private investigations. It says when you rescue the bystander, investigate for a card with an attack or recruit icon. I'm going to choose attack icon. We're going to investigate for that. Put this one back. We're going to play this one out. So that was 2 of my 16. I went down to 14. Now I'm back at 15. So we're going to use 4, 8 of the attack to clear these 2. These 2 get KO'd. That leaves us at 7 attack. We've got 7 recruit. Let's get flying shield block. 4 attack once per turn. If a player would gain a wound, you may reveal its card to rescue a bystander instead. So that should help mitigate some of the shenanigans from this. And then we're going to fight him for 6. Put 3 bystanders from the bystander stack next to his helicopters, and he transforms. So he's going to flip back over and get 3 helicopters. Oops. We're going to end our go. Okay. I think we're doing pretty well here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Scheme twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to put something on the bottom. I'm trying to get rid of the recruit card so I can have a bunch of attack in order to do our abilities here. So we'll play this to draw. It's too bad I can't get rid of this. When you play 2 cards of the same hero class, you can KO this wound. Let's play Red Wing. Look at the top 3 cards of the deck. Draw 1 and put the rest back in any order. If we draw this one, we can put the rest back in any order. That'll help us get rid of the wound. So we're going to play this wound for the 2. We're going to play this, then this. This will let us put this on the bottom to get 1 extra recruit. Because we KO'd this, now we can KO this wound because we played 2 cards of the same hero class. Let me move this over here. This goes over here. And we've got this. So we've got 4. We've got 9 exactly, which is enough to fight Red Hulk. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's get this for 4. Now let's fight Red Hulk for 9. It says put a random bystander next to the Mastermind as a helicopter. For each of these places, the bystander stack, the escape pile, each city space, and each other player's victory pile. So this will go here, and then he's going to transform, and then we'll take a random one. I'll just grab a card. That's 1. Okay. Then he transforms. That's going to be end of our go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. Scheme twist. It's going to drop another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put on the bottom this. Okay. All right. So first things first, we'll play this for Savior. This should help us clear everything out. We'll play this for another. Goes up to 4. We'll play this one to get the sidekick, if I can grab it. We'll play that. We'll play that to put this on the bottom. It's going to give us a recruit. We'll play that to copy this for 3. All right. 2, 4, 6, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 21. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 leaves us 11. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This comes out. Comic Book Shopkeep gives us, look at the top 3 cards of the hero deck. Add 1 that costs 3 or less. and then do this, and then we'll use the rest attack. Well, can we clear this out? How much do we have left? I spent 10, so I have 11 left, so we can clear out 2 of these, putting us to 7. Okay, and then we'll fight Ross for the rest of it. For each Master Strike in the KO pile, put a bystander. Okay, it's over. Okay, alright, cool. So let's count up the victory points real quick, and then we'll get into my thoughts on the movie. 6, let's see. There goes 24, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, 57, minus 12. So 57 minus 12 is 45. So it's pretty solid there. Of course, Captain America, Sam Wilson's is really good, I think, especially Savior. And then this was a perfect setup for having the bystanders. He's getting them from the scheme and the Mastermind. So my thoughts on the movie. Well, I'm going to preface this by, I think this is a frustrating film to talk about for the fact that when the embargo lifted, there were so many negative comments. I think it was pretty, I would say, mixed overall. I think there was a lot of positive and a lot of negative. I think people were going to go into this movie already with their minds made up, saying, I don't like this movie because of all the reshoots, because I don't accept Sam Wilson as Captain America, what variety of reasons. It's trendy to shit on Marvel, for lack of a better term. As well as I feel like I'm probably on, like, if we don't have a spectrum of our Marvel, I'm probably more of a shill, and I'll fully admit that. I've said it numerous times. I don't think, I will say with the exception of the last episode of Secret Invasion, because I think up until that point it was pretty good, they haven't made something that is awful. I think the last episode of Secret Invasion was really terrible, and I think really tanked the show, but the show, it being what it was 5 out of the 6 episodes I thought were good. I don't think any movie has been like the worst thing ever. Like, obviously some are better than others, and when you have 20, 30 movies, they're going to be comparable. I think that this movie definitely solidifies Sam Wilson as Captain America. I think he's the perfect person to take the mantle. I know there was a lot of debate, Bucky should have had it, this and that. But I don't think narratively, from the way the MCU sets stuff up, that Bucky is an appropriate successor to Steve Rogers as Captain America over Sam Wilson. It just doesn't make sense to me from a narrative perspective. I think, given Bucky's past as the Winter Soldier, all the people he's killed, like, obviously he's gone through a redemption arc, but Sam Wilson, and the way that his character is in these movies, perfectly embodies the spirit of what Steve Rogers has envisioned Captain America to be, and I think he does a fantastic job at saying, like, this is Cap. It's seamless to me. I think he's a perfect successor to the Shield. I have no problem with him being Captain America. Like, he's a great character, I think, and I like that, especially because he doesn't have the super soldier serum. He still embodies what it is to be Captain America, but does have to approach it a very different way. I thought Joaquin Torres was a great addition. A little jokey for my, a little too jokey, but I do think overall that the comedy in this movie, like, was pretty subdued, and I think it was done really tastefully. Like, it wasn't over the top. I think it did a good job at following that political thriller. Thunderbolt, Harrison Ford crushed it, no pun intended, as Ross, as Red Hulk. I haven't seen a lot of William Hurt's films. Like, I couldn't tell you what else he's in, and I don't know how well of an actor he is. So he may have been a great opposite to Anthony Mackie as Red Hulk if he were still alive. But it's hard not seeing, like, Harrison Ford just was incredible as that character, and it was pretty seamless to come to, from the recast. The character I wasn't super excited about was Ruth. I didn't think she was a weird addition to me. I understand, her being like this ex-Black Widow, and I think that made sense, but, like, she just didn't, like, I think there could have been a version of this movie that didn't include her. She didn't really deliver a lot, aside from the fact that she was sort of an oppositional figure to Sam from Ross's perspective. Like, she was part of Team Ross, obviously, but then ultimately comes to the conclusion and same side, and maybe that was her point, was to, like, oh, Cap and Falcon are right. Like, there's something else going on. Isaiah is not, there's a deeper problem happening. And the other complaint I think I have is, like, I wish there was more leader. I thought he was a great character. I like the idea of him being this character that's been locked up since this film of Incredible Hulk, and that Ross has been exploiting him to try to build a legacy and try to do all this other stuff. I wish we just got a little bit more of that, because his revenge plot, I mean, I think the movie, it being that short, being under 2 hours, and I'm sure with the reshoots and the re-editing and things like that, some stuff got cut that could have maybe expanded on some of this stuff longer. So I think the pacing of it was just really fast because of the fact that the movie was shorter and there was all the reshoots and things like that. So there could have been more with the leader, but I thought he was great, and I'm super excited that he did not die and that Ross did not die and that we have them in the raft right now. I think that's a cool thing, that we know those characters will be coming back. And then, of course, the Bucky cameo was great, because I think that was perfect. I love, it's hard to be like, oh, we just saw them together in Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then you're telling me that they're not together in the next movie. So to have Bucky come through and be there to kind of give him that pep talk and make him remember, like, you are worthy of being Captain America, was such a nice touch. And I think I love that character dynamic, especially because when you first meet them, they don't really like each other, and then over the films, they just get closer and closer and then become best friends. So I did like that quite a bit. And I liked, I thought it was a little, and I will say, I thought it was a little weird that assuming that Ross is elected president and he gives that speech when he wins the presidency in November, 5 months later puts it in March, which would be, and he mentions, like, my first 100 days, this is going to define me. So he's clearly been president. It's roughly March, right? Because the president is sworn in middle of January. So it's March, April. Also the cherry blossoms, which is like an April thing. But then Bucky is like running for Congress, and it like doesn't make sense because he should have already ran and like been elected and sworn in by that point. So I don't know if it's in a special election. It was just a weird thing. I'm like, it doesn't make sense from a political campaign perspective, but I'll let that go. And then, there was a complaint I saw online about some of the CGI. Every bit of CGI, with the exception of one part, I thought was great. All the aerial fights were great. Sam flying around was great. The Hulk was incredible. That was no pun intended there. The stuff with Tiamat looked great. And I'll come back to the fights in a second. There was one part where at the end of the film, when they're fighting, when Ross and Cap are fighting, and there's like on the cherry blossom thing, you could clearly see that they were like comped in, like the background. And I think the background was real, like from what I've read, but they're comped into the scene, and it looks, or like, I wouldn't say real, but like the cherry blossoms were real. It just, you can tell that like the background and the foreground do not go together. It's a really weird, and it almost took me out for a second. And usually I'm pretty forgiving on this stuff. I'm like, oh, it's kind of bad. But the exception to that, the rest of the CGI was fine. The fights were great. The fighting was really good. And it's really fun because obviously Cap has this weird shield that like does weird physics stuff. And it was cool to see Steve do the stuff. But now that you have Sam doing it with the combination of being able to fly and throwing it through the air and doing the tricks with that, made the combat really fun, and seeing a new twist on how Cap can use a shield, given that now he has like an additional element of the aerial piece of it, the piece of being in the air, the piece of like flying through the sky, doing stuff. And it was cool too that we got to see the kinetic energy of the Wakandan tech. I wish we would have seen that maybe more in Falcon and Winter Soldier, because it kind of seems like, oh, like he has the kinetic stuff that Black Panther does, which it makes sense why he has it, but it would have been nice to see it earlier, just because it would have been not as jarring, I guess. It didn't bother me, but I'm sure like it was just kind of different, which it made sense narratively and like continuity wise, but, and I guess the larger complaint, and it's not on this film, I think it's just the structure of the recent post-Endgame phases. Like, it makes total sense that there is this island full of a rare mineral or a rare metal that people are going to fight for. And it makes total sense that the leader, who has been gamma radiated, has been in the background and Ross has been exploiting him to do stuff. What doesn't make sense to me is the fact that like these were elements we could have seeded out throughout time. And maybe you didn't do it stuff with the leader, and I'm fine with that, especially because Ross ends up, like he from previous films he's had a heart condition. Right? So that makes sense. The Tiamat thing makes sense given the current like what's happening in this film, but it's like we waited however many years and however many projects to not mention it whatsoever. the last time we saw the U.S. president, it was Ritson being like, yo, every otherworldly being on planet Earth is on watch. And we just didn't get anything connecting those two things. It would have been nice in the background somewhere of a project to say, like, President Ritson, after everything that happened, like, like just a TV scroll of, like, President Richard's not running for re-election. We've got, but former, Secretary of State Thaddeus Ross is running for, like, just having something to, like, bridge that, continuity of, like, the past events from one thing to another, because it just feels disconnected. And now we're finally feeling like, okay, he's going to assemble the Avengers. And obviously with the post-credit scene and Stearns being like, the others are coming, which are, like, of course, Doom, and, like, if the rumors are true, we're getting, like, Captain Hydra and blah, blah, blah. Of course that makes sense. But it's like, we could have had Sam, like, go in to go see Shang-Chi and saying, like, I need your help. Or, like, going to go find Bruce and saying, like, yo, I got something to tell. Just, like, showing a piece of him starting to assemble the Avengers before we get to Doomsday and, like, he's already leading a team. Like, unless they're going to use that movie to do that, which is going to be not as... I just feel like the fact that these worlds are connected and we're not seeing the connection has been the biggest frustration. And I've mentioned this over and over again. These characters, we're not seeing them again, and we're not seeing them interact with each other. And when they do it, like, the peak Marvel to me is, like, seeing these characters play together. And, like, you get that, like, because we had so many, like, familiar faces in this film with Sam, with Bucky, with Joaquin, and with Ross, and with Isaiah. It's like, okay, like, I remember this is a real world where characters talk to each other and interact with each other. It's just like we introduce these new characters and then nothing happens with them. So I would have liked a little bit more build up, and I think it makes this movie feel like, oh, hey, remember all the crap we had been doing for the past 4 years? Here's a bunch of it. So again, I don't think it's a fault of the film itself. I think it's more of a fault of, like, the way they've had to structure stuff. And I say all this, I'm not some movie executive, I'm not a movie producer, I don't work on this stuff, obviously. And I know they had to restructure a lot of things over the past couple years, so I'm sure there's been issues that they're trying to, like, work around and try to, like, recover from. But I think that's the biggest thing, like, I'd like to see going forward. I want to make sure these movies feel like they belong together and they feel like they're in the same place. And that's one thing I feel like they've been lacking overall the past few years. And there have been projects that have been good and mediocre, but and like, as an isolated film, they're fine. But we love these movies and we love this universe because we remembered that in the same time Sam and Joaquin are worrying about a plot to overthrow the government and all this other stuff, or, like, to turn the president to the Hulk. You've got Spider-Man going to do stuff. You got Daredevil fighting Kingpin. You've got the Eternals being taken away by, Irishim. You've got Hulk and his son doing whatever. Like, we've got these things that happen, and we've got these things that they can cross over, and they don't have to be this big elaborate thing. Bucky showing up was perfect. That's like, remember these guys are together. So that's what I'd like to see going forward more often. And we're getting ready to go into Avengers, so it's kind of hard. I just hope we get some of these seeds planted throughout before they assemble. And maybe we'll get some more in Thunderbolts. Because we have Thunderbolts, we have Fantastic Four, which I don't know how that's going to connect. Because it's going to connect more to Avengers Doomsday than, like, the grounded stuff. But Thunderbolts kind of runs into this. And then we got Avengers. So it's like Fantastic Four, and then we got Avengers, and then we've got Spider-Man. So it's like, but that's all going to be Avengers stuff. So it's like, it would have just been nice to see a little bit more of a build up until this point before the Avengers movies happen. So maybe we'll get some Thunderbolts, maybe some Fantastic Four stuff will lead into it. But Sam Wilson's Captain America, I think he's great. So overall, I think it was a good, solid movie. I think especially if you expect it to be terrible, you're gonna have a good time with it. The action's incredible. Pacing's a little quick, but it is what it is, given that there was all these problems with the film. It did not feel like there was 1,000 problems with the film, if that made sense. So let me know what you guys thought of the playthrough. Let me know what you guys thought of the movie. And I'm excited to see Sam continue to play Captain America in the Avengers films, and maybe he gets some more films of himself. Oh, we also got to keep Sidewinder. He didn't die. Giancarlo Esposito. Is that how you say his name? Is it Juan Carlo? He got to stay alive, which he's great. Gus is always great. So we got to get these characters and keep them in the world, which makes me happy because it means that they get to come back. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.